Working with Camera. Welcome to the Working with Camera tutorial for Keyshot. Setting up and adjusting your real-time view to accurately represent realistic camera setting is very easy with Keyshot. You can position your camera with a combination of mouse buttons and hotkeys, which can be referred to by pressing K at any time. The most basic control is to click and drag the left mouse button to toggle, click and drag the middle mouse button to pan, scroll the middle mouse button to zoom in and out. Open your project window and go to the camera tab. As you move the mouse buttons, you can see the camera values adjusting accordingly. You can also use the sliders to adjust or input incremental values for more accurate adjustments. A helpful tool to use while working with cameras is a look at point. This can be selected by clicking the crosshair button and clicking in your real-time view on the object you would like to look at, or you can use the hotkey Ctrl plus Alt plus left mouse button for Windows or CMD plus Opt plus left mouse button for Mac for your look at point. Now when you zoom in, your selected point will be in center of your view. To add or remove the camera, click the camera drop-down button. You can rename your camera by typing in the text field and pressing enter. Now if you change your view, you can always go back to your original camera view by selecting it from the drop-down camera button or by double-clicking on it in the Scene tab. You can also use the hotkey Shift plus N to toggle through the selected camera. As soon as you make an adjustment to your view, the camera will be identified as unsaved. To edit a previously saved camera, click the Edit Mode button. Reposition and then select Done or Exit Edit Mode. You can lock any camera both in the real-time view and to the adjustment values. A locked camera will be identified by a locked icon in the real-time view. Keyshot provides predefined view orientations that are in line in respect to the model's original import position. I find these most useful when working in orthographic mode for perfect front, back, and side views. In perspective mode, you'll be working mostly in between ranges of 35 to 120 mm. The smaller the value, the more dramatic the perspective. As a rule of thumb, small products are shot with a larger focal length from a farther distance. Showing a grid can act as a guide to set up your image composition or simply to identify the center of the real-time window. Enabling stay above ground locks the camera from dipping below the ground plane. Depth of field is enabled to visualize a decrease in sharpness in relation to distance. The focus distance is automatically calculated when the point of focus is selected by simply clicking the crosshair button. Decreasing the f-stop value will decrease the amount of focus. For a subtle effect, try using a larger f-stop value. In order to ensure accuracy while recreating an image, you can refer to the embedded image properties. These settings help you to recreate real-world camera views in order to truly bring your 3D models to life. Thank you. Texture Overview. Welcome to the Texture Overview tutorial for Keyshot. Keyshot makes it very easy to simulate detailed 3D effects by mapping 2D images as textures onto your models. Keyshot comes preloaded with a variety of textured materials such as Moldtec, wood, and metals. These can be dragged and dropped onto your parts just like any other materials. If we open up the material properties, we can see the Texture Maps tab where we can import our own self-made texture maps. You can place your 2D image file in the Color tab, followed by the Bump map in the Bump tab and the Transparency map in the Opacity tab. If you're using different maps for texture, make sure Sync is enabled for all the maps. By showing the coordinates legend, that is View, Show Coordinate Legend, it helps identify which axis should the map be projected in. If the texture you're using is tileable, make sure Repeat is enabled so that there is no visible seam. If you're applying the texture in cylindrical mapping, make sure the bump is adjusted in the same position as your texture with the help of the mapping tool and uncheck the repeat option. If the texture is created with a UV map, then you can place the map in Keyshot with the help of selecting the UV coordinates in the type menu. If you're using a purple colored normal map, then make sure the normal map box is checked. These maps use RGB values to accurately define slope and height. If you're using the map on a spherical object, make sure the spherical map option is selected in the type box and adjust the bump height and scale accordingly. For more complex forms of object, you can sometimes use the box map as projection type. Mapping textures to your models provides a lot of details and makes your rendering pop out. For detailed explanation on texture mapping, refer to the Keyshot manual under the Help menu as discussed in the previous lesson. Thank you.